The delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Delegate Price, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. This body is committed to making the lives of residents of the Commonwealth better. We often disagree on how to get there based on where we sit in the chamber. But I offer that one important step in assessing how government can improve the lives of its citizens and residents is to know the history of intentional harm that has been inflicted upon some of our communities. This history is hard to hear at times, but if we don't acknowledge the truth, we will not understand the mandate we have to reckon with it and move forward. We must tell their stories, Madam Speaker. We must discuss the families impacted by reverse freedom rides like that of Leela Mae Williams. We must include on our SOLs freedom fighters like Evelyn Butts, who helped abolish the Virginia poll tax. Virginians need to know about teachers like Aileen Elizabeth Black, who fought for Black teachers to get equal pay. And our youth need to learn about Irene Morgan, who wanted to desegregate public transit on her way to work. Zelma Mae Cheney should be a household name because of her research. Thurgood Marshall was able to do his job on Brown versus Board of Education. And that case underscored the equal access to education helps level economic playing fields. We need to uplift the fight against race-based exclusions to the minimum wage, mass incarceration with racially disparate punishments for identical crimes, and subsequent obstacles to successful reentry. Brave souls all over this country and Commonwealth know that they must fight against any and all policies that, based on the color of their skin, exclude them from being able to secure the bag. Let me give you another example that needs to be taught in our classrooms, Madam Speaker. The Homeowners Loan Corporation was a federal program that set up a system for legalized housing discrimination. And though it was instituted in the 1930s, it has a direct impact on today's statistics for Black families, including lower rates of home ownership, increased food deserts in Black neighborhoods, and the number of areas impacted by recurrent flooding where a lot of Black residents like my district live. Lack of access to resources and higher crime rates often further amplify the trauma that communities like mine experience because of economic injustice on a daily basis. We have current code that illustrates a great conundrum when it's legal for employers to pay below a living wage, but the code often criminalizes those who are on the receiving end of said wage. The cyclical effects in these examples of economic injustice have had intersectional and intergenerational impacts. Yes, again I say, Virginia Code has enshrined some of these philosophies that created unequal opportunity for all. So much so that setting goals for inclusion, Madam Speaker, are mislabeled as unfair advantage, and removal of obstacles feels like punishment for the privileged. And my fellow members, these economic struggles may have their roots in history, but the double down on some of these measures has happened during all of our lifetimes, and their effects stare us in the face today. That's why the call for equality is not enough, especially in the absence of level playing fields. When we realize the steps taken intentionally to create obstruction from economic opportunity, blocking a lot of Black Americans from financial stability and freedom, we must be led with conviction and courage to the reparative policies needed in order to counteract the detrimental impact. And so, Madam Speaker, calling out corporate welfare and wealth hoarding isn't about jealousy-based disdain, but an acknowledgement that their success has been on the backs of hardworking people, many of whom are African American, whose blood, sweat, and tears help build the infrastructure that allows for businesses to thrive. It's differentiating between the further reward of tax cuts and incentives while workers have been refused a living wage, safer working conditions, guaranteed health care, discrimination-free workplaces, and the opportunity to thrive themselves. In the name of Americans like Leela Mae, Evelyn, Aileen, Irene, Zelma, and so many more, I look forward to our continued work this session and in future sessions to bring economic justice to the code and to the lives of Virginians that need us to know their stories. And they need us to remember that we are the ones that can fix the damage that was done. Thank you, Madam Speaker.